Chris has achieved more than I could ever hope for. He said, Chris Brown, Renita Brown. He said, yeah, you're a good man. God had prepared me for it when I was really about 13 years old, because I was at the library and there was this book called The Miracle Worker, and it was by Catherine Owen Peer, and I got fascinated with this sign language and Helen Keller, and I never knew that God was getting my footsteps ready for when I became a mom.
Yeah.
I taught him to say mama when I think he was about 2. And I took his hand like this and like this, and I told him, I said, mama. He hadn't stopped calling me yet. He said, you want him to help you with sign language.
He's always teaching.
Yeah.
Because God cared enough to send us some of his very best.
When I saw Chris, I said, wow, the conventional things we have, they're not going to work. Like nothing worked for his type of glaucoma. Nothing that we had.
Oh, those beginning days were some hard days. They were very, very hard days for me to be able to just think about my son really being in the dark and everything. But then God opened up some doors for us to walk straight through. I'm telling you, God opened the doors that man was trying to shut. He had ideas and he worked hard to come up with different plans for my son. He and Dr. Renita, I remember them getting on the phone and devising this implant to go in Chris's eye for the pressure and everything, because they tried drops, they tried a number of things.
You know, there's this doctor in New York who's talking about this Maltino implant. And he's the only one that's done one in the US, because he trained under the Dr. Maltino who invented it, who's from New Zealand. He said, I think we can do this. And I looked at Dr. Leonard and I said, you're doing the first one.
This Maltino, it worked.
Oh, what was writing on that?
Yeah, everything. His whole,
Yes.
everything. You know, he was 14 or whatever, and you know, a life of vision. Short story, it worked.
I'm telling you, Dr. Fellman would call and check on Chris. He would call us at home.
And they teach me a little sign language.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so, you know, one day Chris came in and he was doing like this, you know, like his heart was pumping. I looked at his mom and I said, what does that mean? She goes, he's got a girlfriend. Well, you know, so I learned a lot about, you know, the art of communication with sign language. Learned to, you know, I've learned a lot from what he's taught me over the years. Chris did really well for a good while, then he got a detached retina. And he lost his vision, and we were able to get the retina doctors to reattach his retina. And that took special thinking. We figured it out and got his retina back on, then he got his vision back. And he did really well for another decade or so. And then eventually, it's not uncommon to get a cornea problem when you have had, you know, when you're aphakic. And I could tell when he wasn't seeing as well, because, you know, he really wasn't himself. Because he's normally upbeat,
Yeah.
like his mom,
Yeah.
You know, got a great outlook on life. You know, he somehow processes it and moves on and makes just amazing. I don't know how he does it, but Chris could always, you know, he was always upbeat, but I could tell when he was down a little bit. You know,
Yeah.
with Chris recently when he got a retina problem again, which tends to drop your pressure.
Yeah.
So we had to figure out a way to make that tube work less, so we could get the pressure in his eye to go up. And we came up with some innovative ways to do that. And then he got a little bit better, and that allowed them to fix his retina. And he got his vision back again. But then his retina came back off again, and so that's kind of where we're at now. And we hope to get him seeing again.
Yes, yes.
So, you know, it's interesting when he was, you know, we were able to save his vision for several decades until he really is getting harder and harder to battle things. And it happens, you know, but luckily they never give up. We never give up. And we'll never give up with Chris. Unquestionably involves some component of innovation, because we don't see anything normal around here. If it's kind of just simple, it doesn't come in our door. As much as I've seen, I've learned it always helps to put a fresh brain on it as well. Perspective is everything. Chris is definitely special. He's unique. He brings a lot to the table that teaches a doctor. You know, patients are our best teachers. You know, we don't ever want to give Chris false hope, but there's definitely hope that we can get him seeing better again. You know, it's really been an incredible journey, and you're right. It's definitely been a spiritual journey in many ways.
Whew, it just brings tears to my eyes to know that God didn't leave us. He can take care of my son, not only my son, but other people as well, because he's always thinking of ways to improve. I am serious about that.
So I saw him a ton in the beginning when I had to operate on him and had him in the hospital. I'd go see him all the time. You know, we kind of like got to be buddies.
Yeah.
But, you know, there's certain people that have certain characteristics that you're attracted to, that, you know, you want to be around them. You feel good being around them. They teach you about certain things. They make you enjoy life more. They make you think more about life. They make you appreciate certain things that you normally wouldn't think about. You think about, wow, look at all the things that have happened to this young man, but look how well he's doing. It's like, he didn't have a problem at all. And he'd come in and teach me things, and we talk about things, you know, as far as I try to do a little sign language. I'm not very good at it. But, you know, he would teach me certain things, and some other gave me some booklets on sign language. Of course, I didn't read them like I should have, but she could probably tell I didn't read them very well.
No.
Yeah, but, you know, they still taught me a lot. And you know, we've discussed things, like I said, like, you know, when he had a sweetheart and all these things. You know, these are milestones in the life of a young man that are very meaningful. And, you know, and especially when you operate on somebody, you go out on a limb and they're doing well. It's joyous. I mean, it's like, you know, 'cause, you know, a lot of times we get beat down, there's not a lot of joy, because we can't beat every disease. Okay, I'm signing up for difficult cases here, because we don't get sent really anything unless nobody else knows what to do about it. You kind of initially cut your teeth on difficult cases, and you realize, wow, I was taking care of some of the hardest glaucoma on the planet when I started off. You have to come up with something else, because if you're not going to do it, who is? It all comes together.
And we would talk about the hope, you know, and that you're going to see, you're not going to be blind. And he would say, yeah. I remember him telling me, I'm deaf, yes, but blind, he said, never. Never blind, mother, never blind. I'm serious. That is how you are able to try to keep a very good positive attitude, you know, telling them, you know, well, you're doing good, you know, or you're doing great, you know, and you're going to continuously do great. And you just look at life with a smile. Don't focus on what you don't have, focus on what you do have.
You know, to a large extent, Chris is a reflection of the spirit of his mother. That
helped immensely as far as adjusting his attitude and being able, to communicate. But at the same time, when you do something to a patient and it works, that also instills some faith in them that they're doing the right thing.
He said that he's very, very happy with Dr. Fellman. He said yes.
It's really the Cure Glaucoma Foundation is all about trying to figure out better ways to deliver care. We have a lot of people that are dedicated to that cause.
Maybe it can be an inspiration to someone, because sometimes people just feel like things are just hopeless, It's not hopeless. You just have to believe.
Your donation matters. Support the Cure Glaucoma Foundation. Your contributions will help us achieve our mission to provide access to quality glaucoma care, to fund transformational research, and to disseminate knowledge through global outreach efforts. Please join us in providing glaucoma aid to underserved communities.
Thank you. So how do I tell them thank you?
Like blowing the kids. That's how you say.
He's still teaching me.
We're blessed to have you. Yeah. Very blessed.
I'm waiting for him to come back in and be doing his girlfriend thing. Thank you.